welcome to the news. I am Saja Brito. The headlines this evening: Tranquil on knife edge amid attempted eviction of families. Gambians react as President Adama Barrow embarks on Meet the Farmer store. These and more coming up later on the show. Our special guest today on News Review is political commentator and staunch supporter of President Barrow's National People's Party, Ahmad Jite. But first, we'll take a look at the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that Dabo advised to avoid further straining relations with President Adama Barrow. Jawara could not build road in his own region for 27 years. This, according to Ahmad Ba, the Minister of Tourism. Dr. Cisse fears 2021 polls in danger without consensus framework. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Presidential advisor Du Sano has called on the United Democratic Party leader Usainu Dabo to avoid further ruining the already stained relations with his former protege, President Adama Barrow. The two former close allies are now leaders of different political parties, considered the bitterest opponents in the political scene. One of President Barrow's close associates, Du Sano, who also advises him on political matters, is not happy with the UDP's leader's recent WhatsApp audio calling on communities not to beg the government or the president because it is not the president who has the resources to give to the people. The particular comment by Dabo in the audio offended Mr. Du Sano. Jawara could not build road in his own region for 27 years. This, according to the Minister of Tourism, Ahmad Ba. Tourism Minister Ahmad Ba has told the people of Nyani that he could not believe that even after 27 years of the rule of their own native Sir Dawda Jawara, they could not be provided a single road or any meaningful development to lessen their extreme poverty. Speaking at a meeting in Wasu, Nyani constituency, Ahmad said it was shocking for him to hear from several speakers, including the National Assembly member Alaji Silla, about the deplorable living conditions of the people triggered by the disconnection with development and infrastructure. Dr. Cisse fears 2021 polls in danger without consensus framework. The Citizens Alliance Party said any absence of an agreeable framework for 2021 general election can result in election-related problems for the country. The party is therefore clamoring for an immediate all-stakeholders convention for consensus building, and it reveals its intention of reaching out to President Adama Barrow, considering the urgency of the matter. CA believes that the success and peaceful conduct of the 2021 presidential polls depends largely on the creation of a framework for the national exercise so that there is consensus on the rules, referee, and road map. Immigration investigates a man who allegedly obtained passport to get migrants deported. The Gambia Immigration Department has opened an investigation into a man accused of fraudulently obtaining a passport for the Canada Border Services Agency to deport long-time immigration detainee Ibrahima Toure. The man, identified as Ali Fofana of Garawal, who also goes by two other names, Ali Kanute and Musa Fofana, is investigated for false declaration for passport. The suspect was deported by Canada to the Gambia in October 2019 after spending more than 3 years in immigration detention. Barrow wants Nigerian soldiers after Economic leaves the country. The opposition GDC leader Mama Kande has claimed that President Adama Barrow's emergency trip to Nigeria last week was to ask for military support from President Muhammadu Buhari. Kande was quoted as saying, "I understand he went to Nigeria to ask for military support because the economic mandate has ended. Those who were funding the troops said they cannot continue funding it." Kande told supporters in Latrikunda, Sabiji. The economic intervention was launched to resolve a constitutional crisis caused by the 2016 disputed presidential elections. The intervention, partly funded by the European Union, began on January 2017. The former European Union ambassador in the Gambia, Attila Leos, told the Standard in October that the EU has since March stopped funding the West African troops in the Gambia. Barrow says he will not go into exile after a presidency. President Adama Barrow has said, unlike his predecessors, he would not go into exile when he leaves office. The president said he would spend his post-presidential life in the country Addressing a meeting across Nyani and Sabah Sanjal constituencies as part of his nationwide Meet the People's tour, President Adama Barrow went on to outline a picture of how he plans to spend his life when his presidency comes to end. Badibu will never support President Adama Barrow. The spokesperson of the United Democratic Party in North Bank region has said the people of Badibu will never support President Adama Barrow and they will continue to remain an opposition to his government. Karamonjai, who said he is responding to President Barrow's recent call for Badibu to end being sanctuary for opposition, added that Badibu will continue to oppose him because the reasons Gambian uprooted Yahya Jammeh are still manifesting in his governance. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at what the Point is reporting. 3 judiciary staffs arrested for stealing cannabis exhibit. Mama Kande reveals NPP wants him to fight with UDP. Let's take a look at those 2 stories. Personnel of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, otherwise DLEAG, have arrested 3 staffs of the Judiciary at the Basse Magistrates Court, plus 2 DJs and a musical promoter in Basse in the Upper River Region, URR, in connection with stealing cannabis exhibits at the court. The suspects at the time of gathering the reports have been detained at the Basse police station as investigation into the matter continues. Now, Mama Kande reveals NPP wants him fight with the United Democratic Party. Honorable Mama Kande, the party leader for the Gambia Democratic Congress, has revealed that the National People's Party wants him to fight the United Democratic Party, something he said he would not do. He said this was as recent as after the by-election in Nyamina West. He made these remarks during a political rally held in Changai, Same district. Kande said UDP stood by him after Honorable Demba Sow's demise, and as such he could not go against them. The GDC party leader said NPP did not sympathize with the late Honorable Sow's family and campaigned for months in Nyamina just to win the seat. That's it for the newspapers. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And now President Adama Barrow is still on his nationwide tour as he made a stop in Balangar, Kermderi on Saturday. The president, during his meeting, reiterated his commitment in bringing development to the doorstep of every Gambian. More in this excerpt.
si juróom fukki at yu passé lu ngeen amuloon si mburu Jawara amuleen ko si mburu Yaya Jammeh man maa la digli di ngeen ko am si mburu Adama Barrow lu tax ma wax leen loolu dama óolu suma boppa óolu suma nguur gi óolu suma technicien yi ne dañ bari pexe pour ñu mën a liggéey Gambie wax nañ fi ay affaire courant wax nañ fi affaire ndox affaire lopitaan affaire ambulance suma ministre of health tontu na loolu waaye nag ma wax leen ne affaire courant wax naa si lu bari du ma si dee bugg a delluwaat waaye maa ngi leen a garanti ne balaa 2025 mboolem ku nga xam ne yaa ngi biir Gambia fii soo dekkoon si biir pax wala nga amoon dëkk boo xam ne benn kër la dinaa la jox courant man caaxaan isi wu ma liggéey wu ma isi loo tax tey bu ma nekkee fii nii naka la tuddati sama sanjal Sarakunda
ba nekkee sama sanjal Sarakunda
wax naa ne léegi damay wecci suma tur
ngañu faale na num
nga dañ ma ne Barrow man naa si
yaale ka fayna ko Barrow man naa si
léegi wax leen ma Barrow naa da doo ko wala
say
loolu mooy suma liggéey
say wala Barrow naa da doo ko wala
du dama def loo xam ne
ka dum be doo ku kela
lu musta am biir Gambia loolu rek lay def
doo ko mi ne ma solo Gambia me wala kela
ku weddi loolu
mi wo soso
soo demee Basse
ni dana Basse
di nga fekk suma liggéey foofu
nan doo ko be Basse du
soo demee Sandu
ni dana Sandu
soo demee Wulli
ni dana Wulli
nga dem Kantora
ni dana Kantora
ñëpp di nga fekk suma liggéey foofu
wol be na doo ko wal baaje la
nga dem Hakalam
ni dana Hakalam ñoomi
nga ñëw Saalum fii
na Saalum jang
Oppa Saalum ñaani jaar
Oppa Saalum ñaani jaar
nga dem Banjul
yeta Banjul
liggéey bu mag laa nekk di Banjul
ba wala nekk Banjul say
liggéey bu musta am biir Banjul moo am Banjul fu mu
doo
nekk
ko mi ne ma solo Banjul be wala doo ko
liggéey yoon yëpp biir Banjul
wol be Banjul silo be doo ko
ndox yi yooni kama yi liggéey leen yëpp
ji wol silo be Banjul sa le ko
ndox yi fu moo jaar su tawee yëpp liggéey ko
ani kama ji silo be doo ko
musuta am
ani ne man solo
te liggéey bi
alu doo ko ni
xaalis Gambia la
Gambia ko do
contracteur Gambian la
kontato Gambia di mo
liggéeykat yi Gambian la
doo ko la mo banko di mo le
xaalis buñ des ci liggéey boobu
ya ko do min dépasse Banjul silo
ñaari junne million dalasi
dala ci ko do million wuli fula ñam
te xaalis boobu yëpp Gambia la
be
jógee
mo na Gambia jani
te lii yëpp
alu ni be
si ñeneenti at yi la
ni sañi na no ko le
kon mu ngi mel ni
mo tax mënu ta ko
man lu ma liggéey si ñeneenti at
te nga min doo ko sañi na no
mun na ko compare ak liggéey bu xamoon 50 years
ita means doo ko kuntakino la sañi tan lu ko ma
balaa maa ñëw
ganni be Masakunda tala
juróom fukki at
sañi tan lu Masakunda mi ko ta jang
juróomi ñetti téeméeri kilomètre si yoon loolu lañ fa liggéey
silo min doo ko amu me be kilomita kebe sey banko mu me la
man bu ma ñëwee ak léegi
kabunda si dañi sañi na no kono
juróom benn téeméeri kilomètre loolu laa nekk di liggéey
keme woro silo be wala doo ko kam fo sañi na no kono
si wàllu bridge
ako sala lo la karola
ñoom ñu ngi liggéeyoon si juróom fukki at
wo sañi tan lu Masakunda silo mi ko ta jang
juróom ñaari téeméer ak juróom fukki mètre loolu lañ liggéeyoon si ay bridge
metar keme woro la tan lu salo la jamfo de wala mu me la doo ko gambe ko
man ma ñëw ma liggéey ñaari junne ak juróomi téeméeri kilomètre ma ñëw sampa si wàllu école ma sampa ñetti junne classroom teacher yi fu ñëw fanaan ma sampa junne yi néeg si wàllu kama si école yi ma sampa junne ak juróomi téeméer wax naa leen ne lu maa def li mu musta am rek loolu lay def ma ñëw liggéey la yooni Saalum ma ñëw di liggéey yooni ñaani jaar lu musut am Gambia loolu moo di am Gambia ma ñëw liggéey Hakalam 86 kilomètres dépense boo xam ne junney million ak ñeneenti téeméeri million loolu laa ko nekk di liggéey xaalis bi yëpp Gambia fii la jóge xanaa ñu fi nekkoon fan lañ doon xaalis bi fan lañ ko doon def waaye man liggéey moo ma isi man ñëw ma pour ut xaalis dama ñëw pour liggéeyal leen man dama ñëw pour liggéey te tey wax naa ko Sarakunda bugguma nekk président ñetti fukki at bugguma nekk président ñaari fukki at ak ñaar bugguma loolu soo leen ma ko bu mën a jox soo ma nangu bu ko man utuma xaalis liggéey rek laa ñëw def damaa def suma liggéey ma jeexal ma dem keneen ñëw continuer liggéey réew kenn du ko jeexal waaye benn affaire loolu bugg naa ko si suma nguur yaa mooy lu tubaab yi dee wax legacy mooy liggéey yu nga xam ne nga def man loo record boobu laa bugg a biir Gambie juróom fukki at si kanam nit ñi taxaw di wane président Barrow moo liggéeyoon lii président yaa bi dina jeex waaye liggéey bi du jeex waaye nag benn nit nag moom yërëm naa ko am na ko xam ne am naa yërmande pour kooku mooy man su ma jógee président yaa maa ñëw uutu as président Gambia kooku liggéey bu mag la am du ko xam naa ne waa Gambia dinañ ko challenge yoo xam ne dinañ ko wax ne président Barrow lu fi ne da nga war a def lu ëpp loolu soo ko defu dinañ la fuddal si biti ñu xëy si kenn kon bëgg naa ngeen am loolu ñëw ma di uti alal liggéey moo ma is wax bi nag bari na waaye ñuy wax ñooñu xam nañ leen waaye wax leen ne nañ tey man suma contrat bi jeexagul liggéey bu ma war a defal Gambia yi jeexagul nañ ma may tuuti rek ma continuer suma liggéey waaye bugga naa waa Gambia jàppale man kenn mënumaa def liggéey soxla naa area council soxla naa ministre yi soxla naa gouverneur yi soxla naa béykat yi soxla naa sàmmkat yi soxla naa Gambia yëpp pour ñu jàppale ma si liggéey bi pour liggéey mën a dem.
Do you want to win millions of dollars this December? All you have to do is dial *777# for free or call or SMS 1010 at $3 is only to participate in the new AfriHali show and be part of the 7 daily winners.
Every Tuesday, Wednesday and Fridays live on GRTS, Afri Radio and social media platforms. Be part of our lucky winners.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
React to President Adama Barrow's Meet the People's tour as politicians accuse the president of wasting state's resources to further his political agenda. Mati Senghor has more on this report.
In fulfillment of Section 222, subsection 15 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow has been touring the country to dialogue and assess the condition of people and gather first-hand information on the impact of government policies on the lives of citizens. We went out on the streets to seek people's opinion regarding the president's dialogue tour.
And okay, I'm DJ, the president conto na la delegation no mol. Mini beta ta tol du laut. Ka to ko mu ala tentu balet. President ya la hajo be bula. Ka futa kata banko be taman kata banko muru. Ka sanelal jibe ila sana fe ngol kata nyaade. O wajibi ata president ma banko dum la fa nyanta kontanal. Baado ko president mi ya lon ka me kala moto. Otala hajo bula la ital jibal be nyame ngolo sota pour kanya tan leje o mol fana demba crash le be kere nde men jije dia mo be siari bar hanna tata wala opposition non wol kala hajo bula kata tolo so ko man sama be siri ni tata tolo la nyan tolo meta tolo pour kata la politiko balonde bare wala la do ko woti
ala to kata per kata Senegal jibe o mo be le se wolati kandi sewo memu akamta ko mbela nyoma ko lo muto aning banko le ta nyaato fanan lafta o fanan na ko kono je baki ani memu banko nyaato ko to Gambia bebe duaka wala bitilola ka ala murumuru ngadiata Gambia bele anda mankuya mobe.
However, some Gambians describe the dialogue tour as a political campaign for NPP.
Nyinto nde menje nde political je anyata tal tola wato men na manta wato andun nyim banko be damen do sai political do na be jam par adam baro man tara do ko la political ne men ka fa ka do ko la fa ko ande ka man tara to nyala man tara do Sénégal ne bi dawol wala ne kay wala wato me alon ko ila problème be la régie ma ko no bot san Sénégal le tiol do ko ya bam foy ka habes ka waf ila wafir ko fa to ka fen do fo de ka political diam ita man ta Sénégal ma ko ita de ko la ma ko andi même fanan diala asiata til tang anin sey banko la économique bo positionnement de sans is too much nte de ngaji nyamen dal ma support so député wol len mu to le ko do nyi boge do approuver ya sika ya dia atata ina be kanyanta jel bari ici mi reñu banko la conditionnel ya mun tol banko dingul la conditionno jibe banko me ala kala économique mambede ya jema be jan 22 years way julo men don do baro men don do ci ya jema don rol only 4 years nin dol tuto ko be tan nyaadi kajulo dun na kajulo dun tol dingol bita fo fa be julo jo mbare mo son de ko mom fem fere support je
fada nga moy de kada da tola de bari ala to dan to nga men ñom campagne a campagne nga wala je bar to ko min kata sen la jibe ela do ko be nyaadil nda ka tele jibe nara da men to mbuka ma be jin ka tele jibe bar campagne nga wala je bar mbuka wodi je.
Citizens Alliance standard bearers Dr. Sisi at their press conference on Friday also has this to say regarding the president's tour.
Now when it comes to the presidential tour, it's a farce. It's a disgrace. I mean, how can you take taxpayers' money in the millions of dollars with all this COVID-19 recovery that is happening? Businesses are struggling. People are suffering. The economy is bad. In fact, the projections for the economy are even worse. Now you go on a political tour and you call it meet the people, meet the farmers. To tell them what? When they have already done their farming already. To tell them what? And in fact, I haven't seen anything that has to do with talking to the people. What I've seen is politics, pure and partisan politics. How can a cross-carpet issue be an issue of a meet the farmer store? How can it be? Cross-carpet. Using our state resources to organize an event where people cross-carpet. So it is really sad and unfortunate that we still find ourselves in the same situation. The same things we condemned not so long ago are the same things we are doing still today. You see, nations develop. They move from A to B, B to C until they reach Z. But we are moving from A to I don't even know what. And it, not even minus, I mean, we are regressing. Politically. It doesn't make any sense that people died. Solo Sandeng died at Westfield. Many people were tortured in torture chambers. People lost their lives fighting for reforms, fighting for a better, more democratic Gambia. Yet today here we are. We are doing the same things that those people died for. And we think it is okay. And we think it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect us today, but tomorrow it's going to affect us. It is going to affect our children. And I think that is where everybody has a role to play. Civil society, media, political parties, to hold this government account, to say, well, you know what you are doing is wrong. And for me, again, I emphasize, we have to do the right thing. The reforms must take place. Otherwise, it will grave betrayal of the Gambian people, a grave betrayal of those who died.
Reporting for News Review, I am Matisemu.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Barrow's a nationwide tour, which he is currently embarking on up country there. Now, we all know this is part of his constitutional mandate. According to Section 222, subsection 15 of the 1997 Constitution, the president is mandated to tour the country at least twice in the year, like they say, to familiarize himself with some of the things that are happening in the country. Now, even though this is part of his constitutional mandate, a lot of people are criticizing him and calling him out, especially politicians, saying that this is a farce and it is just he's just wasting national resources to further his political agenda. What is your response to that?
Well, the reason why, thank you so much once again, the reason why we have a set of laws put in place for a country to use and to, run by is because by nature of humanity, there will never be consensus on anything. This is why, in the first place, you have set of laws in any country. So there will always be people who will not agree with it. So that I understand. But this is sanctioned by the Constitution, which is supposed to be what every law-abiding citizen should use as a guiding principle. And the president is mandated by the Constitution, the supreme law. And I have not seen anything that is wrong with him carrying out what his duties are.
Now let's talk about the wastage part, because most of these politicians are stressing that the president is in fact using states' resources and wasting them on something that was supposed to be so important, which is to meet the farmers. But instead, it has turned to like a gathering of cross-carpeting. This group has cross-carpeted from this political party to our NPP. What do you have to say about that?
So government is always, an institution that is controlled by a political party. You're forcing the opposition or a political party, you come into office. And when you go around, I am sure you have seen people that were discussing about either buying their ground, having their roads constructed, getting them water facilities, having health facilities brought to their doorsteps. I'm sure we've listened to women, we've listened to men, we've listened to farmers, we've listened to people that actually were not from the president's office on top. These are ordinary Gambians. They were telling the president what their problems are in their various communities. This is exactly what the Meet the People for is meant for. So when people say one is cross-carpeting, politics and policy matters are intertwined. When a politician goes to people and tell them, these are the programs I have for you, please vote for me. It is consensus that people vote people into office based on promises. Now, when you promise people and you get into office and you have delivered some of those promises, telling them to keep you in that office so that you can do more for them is actually what politics is about. So President Adam Barrow went round. They will talk about wastage, but he told them about the development program that his government is undertaking. And these were the things that he told them when he went around the tour to look for their votes. He also told them with his ministers the line of programs that he is bringing as well to the farmers, to in the health sector, in the areas of infrastructure, that is construction of roads and bringing electricity. This is what it is meant for. These are his policy programs, and these are the people that voted for him. And that is why, in the first place, our founding fathers put these requirements in the Constitution, because it's not everything that is captured when you have a messenger between you and your people. Once or twice a year, you can go around and have a direct discussion with them. I don't know how else this is a problem. In terms of, you talked about wastage, unfortunately, I've been very busy and I don't know how much money is spent on this. But again, the president budget is approved by National Assembly, an equally independent arm of government. So if there's something wrong with that. These are opposition. They have their members in parliament who actually form the majority. A simple, bill, private bill, can be passed to stop people, president from going out to talk. For me, it's as simple as that.
So this is supposed to be a meet the farmer store, as we call it. But a lot of people are saying that this has been reduced to like being on the campaign trail. Is that something that you will agree to?
So I've mentioned that you cannot separate a president's meeting with people, talking to them about development activities, and his political interest. You cannot separate the two. The president is a politician. He came into power through politics, and he got that power to help develop the country, to implement the policy program. But in doing so, too, he wants to stay in power to be able to do that. And when you say this is reduced to politics, I mean, farmers are Gambians, and farmers are people that belong as well. They are either UDP, they are NDP, they are NCP, or they are independent. But farmers are Gambians that actually vote for people to be in office. So, when somebody stands before you and say, I want our road to be constructed, we want water. I mean, how do you differentiate in a meeting that this individual is a farmer? No, this one is a politician. No, this one is an engineer. No, this one is a doctor. How do you differentiate that? When people say we need water in our community, it could be for their cattle, their herds of cattle, and that is farming. When people say we need roads, they want roads so that they can transport their produce from point A to where the market is, and that is far from farming. If people have people say we want electricity, probably they want to do poultry farming, bringing chicken and rearing them. So that could mean farming. So I mean, I don't know what else. I mean,
Now, I know 2021 is right around the corner, and of course, things are really intensifying. I want to talk about a statement that was talked about a few days ago by the party leader of the United Democratic Party. I know Ahmad Bah has come out to respond to the statement, and of course, a presidential advisor, Dusano, but I would also like to have your intake on this when he said that Barrow did not inherit anything from his father which he could use to help Gambians. What do you make of this statement?
tell me a single individual, a single person in the world that spends his father's, the property inherited from his father to develop that society for its people. Not in the United States. Donald Trump inherited millions of dollars. Justin Trudeau, our prime minister in Canada, inherited millions of dollars from their parents. Tell me a single president or prime minister or leader in the world that spends his pocket money to develop the country for his people. They use taxpayer money. And, I have heard this, and, this statement was told to younger generation. In fact, in that statement, it mentioned that those children, some of them, they have never voted yet. This is the first time they are going to vote. That is 2020. If I were in his position, a man as old and as educated and as experienced as him, I would have even advised them to desist from politics of insults and abuses. But that is exactly what he has inculcated in it. Because that's it. If you insult someone's parents in presence of the children, what you are telling them in essence, it's fine to insult someone else's parents in as much as you disagree with them. So, but this is for me, this is not the first time. Hussein went to Bansa, those statements, their videos are there, and he told Bansa people that you should be ashamed of yourselves. If you not vote for UDP, members of local government, that is the council, you will, shoot yourself on your foot because his reasons were, Adama Barrow, a minister from Bansa, Amadou Sane from Bansa, an ambassador, vice chief from Bansa, Asan Diallo, Chief Justice from Bansa, Dr. Sidarjo from Bansa. And for those reasons, he said Bansan people should not have any reason to have an opposition candidate. Not even vote for UDP, but they should not have an opposition candidate standing in Bansa. For those things that were done for him from inheritance, they were not. They were things Adam Ababa from Bansan people's and other Gambia. But he went there and threatened them. Now, the video, the audio is all over YouTube. The audio I played it. Fawsen la kodo la modi Ahmad Sadio Fawsen la kodo yewla ta faisi seden Asan Jallo ni sida bonto or ataka la wo use because of those favors to Bansa they should vote for him UDP. Why would he come today to tell Adam power. That is Hussein for you. A man that is angry and will stop at nothing to get to power. But that is not going to work. Adama Madam.
We do hear a lot of rhetorics. I'm saying that we do hear a lot of rhetorics coming from politicians, and this comes from different sides of the coin in most cases. What does these things mean for our politics in this country?
Well, I mean, you know, what we all need to do, one thing I would tell you is when you look at President Adama Barrow, I'm sure you've watched a lot of his political programs and discussions. One thing he will not do is to insult an opponent. He's very careful of that. Mama Kande has been raining insults on Barrow. Hussein Dabo has been raining insults on Barrow. Dr. Sise himself has been raining a lot of insults on Barrow. But very no occasion will you see a president stand and respond that nasty and unstateman's man. So I think what we also do is to be civil and exercise civility and in our politics. But then we have leaders who are, you know, speaking in manners, and also their supporters and their followers are following in the same path. And if you insult people, there's a point that they will fed up. The elasticity of elastic limit will have to be passed. If we reach that breaking point, people will bounce back. And that is what you see in most cases. And it ends up fitna or unrest. And I don't think we did that. But our leaders like Khalifa Saleh say very clearly, those that insult have no message. I think Hussein should continue to show that, not only to tell people don't insult, but he himself should stop insulting, because he's showing a very terrible example as a leader. And God forbid having every president in that country. Astaghfirullah.
Let's talk about Mama Kande for a second. Like I said, there's been so many cross-carpeting, people from the GDC cross-carpeting to the NPP, and sometimes we hear other political parties saying people from the NPP have cross-carpeted to our party. But recently, Mama Kande has said that the reason NPP is after the GDC is because the NPP wants him to fight with the United Democratic Party. What is your response to that?
What he didn't say is how NPP wanted him to fight with UDP. Where did NPP say that? These are political statements, and everybody is at liberty to say whatever they want. Just like you stand and say they have given millions to people to join NPP. Anybody who can say NPP is giving millions to people. Even me, I was accused of having a diplomatic passport. The list came out. Those that were ever given diplomatic passport, my name was not there because I never had it. They accused me of having, you know, millions from Barrow. As a matter of fact, until today, I have spent 5,000 Canadian dollars. Some of those t-shirts and Barrow, you know, dresses you see, I personally contributed to, like many other party members, to buy those stuff for the party and for people to buy them and get money for the party. But they are accused of receiving millions from President. So Mama Khan is saying that we want you to have a problem with Hussein Dabo. It's just a Mama Khan statement. I mean, there is no of truth in that. We are NPP. We would love Mama Khan to join us. Even Hussein Dabo, we would love him to join us and all the military. But if that is not possible, we continue being aggressive with our outreach policy, with our, you know, welcoming policy, and go after people and bring them. And I believe, as I said in the beginning, you know, politics is about promise. When you get to power, you get those promises implemented. People look at your promise and look at this other person's promise and look at the other person's promise. Whichever they feel is what they pick, and that is what is nothing extraordinary.
And Ahmad, just before I let you go, particularly the GDC has always said that the MPP party was, established based on lies and deception. They're saying that every time that you say that people are cross-carpeting to the MPP, is because you are using a lot of money to give it to people to try to convince them to join your party. What do you think?
So, so yeah, like I said a little bit of it. I mean, you know, we don't have money to give. I have said it in one of my programs. President Adam Barrow as a person, Hussein Dabo is a witness to that because he testified himself. Barrow was very helpful to you. Ala kodo dundije adu mo kende ba mo kallake. Hussein Barrow. Barrow has a property management company. Most of his clients are Sarahule. When you ask Bukas, they will tell you in a talk that if Sarahule trusts you with his money, give your life to that individual. If a Sarahule trusted anybody with his or her money, let's assure that that person will take care of your life. I don't want to work with these Sarahules. There was never a time that any issue ever emanated from him managing their resources, more than 15, 18 years. Some of these people have become millionaires, multi-millionaires. They look, we became president, they said we are Gambians, we believe the best we know will be able to help this country when we help it. Sarahule Kilia Motor one Sarahule gave us $1 million. The other one gave us 500,000. You go out and ask Sarahules in Congo, Sarahules in Kinshasa, in Gabon, in Sierra Leone. These are very, very wealthy Gambians living abroad. If they come and help us, why wouldn't they help us as Gambians? But for us, money to people, I think anybody that will give someone money to retain, I think Barrow would have given Ahmad a lot of money because all of you are aware that I'm a very strong and a very, very useful supporter and member of NPP. I'm not going to from Barrow. We are members, so we don't give out money. Those are lies. But again, Mama Kande goes around to build walls for people. Mama Kande goes around to build really massive people. I mean, for what? For him to go to heaven? No. Give them money so that you give them boreholes and wells and milling machines for them to go and join GDC. But nobody ever asked Mama that what you are doing. You are giving material support to people for them to support you. Why are you giving them material? These are kind of stuff that Mama Kande has been doing, and nobody ever asked that. But he will come around to tell us that we are giving money to people, and they have not produced a single Gambia that will come out to say, here is the money. This is what NPP gives. With all these talks, they said we bought votes from Nyamina and Keriaga. And as a statistician, when you approach 100 people, there is always this chance of someone refusing, someone very upright, someone very genuine. Let them bring one individual on TV who said, I have seen money being given to me for my vote. One person. And they can take them to court. Because Gambia is a country of democracy and rule of law. They have not done that. So these are all statements to just tarnish the image. And don't forget, you talk about a point we are all based on deception and lies. Now, these are things that they borrow from the youth people. So just 2 minutes. Let me make this very clear. When Barrow came to power from UDP, you will always hear by law, by agreement, Barrow resign from UDP. But for anyone, all of us say Barrow is from UDP. Now, within UDP, this is democracy. We know there will always be divergence of opinions. Not even 5 people you cannot have all of them agree on one thing. Some elements of UDP felt that Usainu Dabo will be the party's presidential candidate for 2021. Some said, no, we have Barrow already. Let's keep him there. Now, those that say we keep Barrow, they said we are bad elements. We are not loyal to the party. And we said that is democracy. If we want this guy, only the Congress, constitutionally mandated Congress, decide who will be a leader. We refuse everybody to say that. This was where the problem came. And as Gambians with rights, we went and formed our party. How is that a deception? How is that a betrayal? How is that an insult? How is that? We exercise our democratic rights when they refuse us exercising it within UDP. We want Barrow to continue for another 10 years, for another 5 years. They said, no, Usainu, then you are on Jugal. You've heard them say it. We have to deal on Jugal. We said, no, already Barrow has the advantage. And they started the nonsense and they are telling us we are betrayal. We will continue this betrayal 2021. UDP will be there. Thank you.
Supporters out there and to Gambians and why they should join the NPP?
First, for NPP, we are young. We always sometimes things get so hot because Nimoye banning. But coming for all West, for NPP people, let's do politics with respect. Let's do politics with civility and decorum. Let's agree and let us tolerate divergent views because that is politics. You will never have everybody in the same camp. At the same time, I would like every Gambian to know that NPP is formed to unite Gambians, to bring Gambians together, and to forge ahead. We need to unite and forgive each other and forge ahead. So all of you are welcome to NPP. As for why you should vote for us, of course, you see what our leader is doing. You know, hakalan ko naman silo dokuka. Basen kol man silo sambagi. Sandung kol. Banjulu la nita da banjulu sama ko susulal kala flefa. Banjulu de hen. Wale banjulu amna concrete. So these are some of the things you know, I mean, and many others we don't have time to talk about. But I assure you, Gambians will be in a better position with President Barrow and in full control. This one is a coalition, and we still see it as a coalition. But come together as NPP, we take full control of our government, and you see the difference. Control parliament and control the executive. You will see what intention we have on there under our dynamic leader, President Adama Barrow.
Thank you very much, Ahmad, for coming through to the Fatu Network News Review. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for this interview. And now the community of Brufut Tranquil share their frustrations following an attempted eviction of families. The eviction, if successful, will affect over 15 compounds. Fatu Kamara has more in this story.
Uncertainty has returned to Tranquil. Scores of people living in this small town near Brufut have over the years been on a knife edge as a huge row over a vast piece of land continues to rage. The land is being claimed by a white man who is said to have acquired it many decades ago for agricultural purposes. But somehow people who lived here acquired plots of land and built their houses on them.
I buy my land. Here is almost about starting from 2005. Try to develop it. During the process, I discovered that there is a problem happening in this area, and the previous government, we have already informed them, the former government, and they brought us together to the police headquarters. We talked to the police. They did their investigation about the whole issue. how do we acquire our lands. And they did their investigation, the police talked to us, and they report the matter to the president, and the president created a panel. So, and the panel did their investigation, report back to him, and they decide to give us our lands back. This is the time, we start to do our developments. So, as long as this new government comes into power, I was not here this time. I was in Europe. I was informed that these people came here, and they decided to evict us, from our land again.
Person have any documents to prove that he in fact was the original owner of this environment?
Yes, I have no idea about that.
So did Jame ended up giving the person any confession?
Yeah, he refused. You understand? He refused. You understand? Okay, but Jame told him, if you refuse, I cannot evict my own citizens from their properties and give it to only one person. You understand? Then I think he left the country, but now he's not even in the country now. It's one of his friends by the name Barry, yes, who's following the mat at the courthouse. Yes.
On Thursday, an eviction team from the Sheriff's Division came to Tranquil, accompanied by police, to evict residents.
Hello, sorry, good afternoon, sir. We are told that you are from the Sheriff. Do you mind saying something?
Yeah, we are from the Sheriff Department to evict one Mr. Cherno Kamara.
With profound respect, I'm an ex-officer and I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I will ask my people to be law-abiding citizens too. So if you give us a little bit time, all will be set to light. We all do in the interest of justice. This is our motherland. So with profound respect, sir, I will talk to my people to behave, and we wait for the higher authorities, because our lawyer is already heading towards Banyan, and I believe in 30-45 minutes we will get the results. It's the court that brought you here. It's the court we wrote to. You are not part of the players. You're part of the enforcement officers, which we respect. Without you people, we cannot be here. The nation cannot be at peace. I have served on the force for 12 years, and I left honorably. I'm right now working as a human resources manager. So I will do everything in my powers to make sure nobody misbehaves. Sure. But please, with profound respect, allow the law to take its precedence. So.
But these people say they are not moving out of their houses.
What is happening right now?
I think it's very disappointing. As a Gambian, you just can't walk into people's house and then evict us based on zero grounds. I spoke to the lawyer. He said he's representing a client. So I said, I have nothing to say to these people. Then I'm going to get a lawyer that is going to talk to their lawyer directly. Because we have our authentic papers, everything is correct. So it's just not okay that over 22 citizens of the Gambia own the houses here. It's just undone. We're citizens, and this house, my brother bought it with his own money. We have authentic papers. So you just can't walk through the door and tell us to leave the house. So it is really disappointing, which is why we want this to go to the media. We are citizens, and we are entitled to our rights. This is bullshit. To have the Gambian civil whatever that are working at the government to just work in their fellow Gambians based on some white man's story, and then telling us to leave our homes. This is unacceptable. What I am saying is, let the government or whoever needs to see this take action, because this cannot continue. We can't buy our house, build our house, live in safely and happy, and one night, just one morning, someone walks in and tells us to leave. It's not okay. Let the government take step. Let the government involve. We are citizens and we're entitled to our rights. This is unacceptable, and we are not going anywhere. They spoke to a lawyer. The lawyer said he has a whatever client. That's fine. But we have nothing more to say. I just want this to be on the media so that the Gambian people know that we have been harassed. We're Gambians, but we are not entitled to anything. We have no rights to anything. Anyone can walk out from the door or come in and just tell us to leave. It's unacceptable. Let the Gambians stand up for what we believe in. We are Gambians. Let us stand up. This is unacceptable. We voted for democracy. I'm just going to stop talking, but I want this to be out there. It's over 22 compounds. Over 22. We're going to leave the house for what? We bought this house, we spent our money. When we're Gambians, we're entitled to it. If they want to take the matter to court, let it be legitimate, but you don't walk through our door and tell us to leave. It's unacceptable. President Barrow, if you're hearing this, take action. You should take action. You shouldn't be allowing your citizens to be suffering and going through humiliations like this. It's very unacceptable.
There is total uncertainty in other houses too, as a massive 22 homes is said to be affected.
Yeah, ñun feel ne on almost legi since time ya jambala wax kër yi nekkon fi into my own understanding fekk dama tikura ma ñëwé la fekk wax gi fi ñu ben tuba mo doon claim ne mom momon fi as a garden la won kër yi won 22 or 25 houses yu fi nekk ne mom moko momon. So in that government bi rimi ya jame bi pare won pour convaincre ko place bori fogna brikama o jambur yoyu tuba bi risis mu no du jël lolu. So in that president bi won ko ne for the interest of our country action nit ñi légui da nga jël fofu wala soko jël té léna ci la ko ga jël ñu diport ko mu dem. So bu mu dibo de fekk ñun 3 years génn ñu fi sol ay soldar ñoo fi dékon bala ñuy dugga fi fekk suñu bagage yépp yaxu ne taw bi daf lay yax yena bagage sa de len sacc. So from there la ñu government joxat autorité government yaajam pour ñoo back ñoo stay. So from there la ñoo défarat suñu kër bi défar ko bam baax ma sha Allah génn kër yu fi nekk yépp. So during that regime change di seen bari bobu mu tonaat ci agent tuba bi xama xaritam ñew topam mbir bi ci ron né ñom dañoo claim la dañoo jël fi yépp. So in that amon nañ fi problem over 6 months ago 5 months ago ñewon na fi mu nekk ak ñi ro ngarabu koñ bi yépp géena.
The Camaras say they spent at least $10 million in their houses and they got their land close to 10 years ago.
It was $9 to $10 million. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes, I started from the foundation up to upstairs. So I knew how much he'd been sending to me to build this house for him. Much more when it comes to, finishing and to buy things and put it here. Yes, it's almost $9 to $10 million.
Land continues to be one of the biggest problems the Barrow government is yet to find answers to. Fatou Kamara reporting for the Fatou Network News Review.
Now that's it for News Review. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching and have a good night.